Do you ever wonder what message the world is sending you? Well, this morning I woke up to find something really odd in front of my house. And, well, it's still out there. I moved it, but I'm pondering what it means. Well, I'll tell you about it on today's episode of Life's Potluck Buffet, and we'll ask the cards what it all means, and maybe they'll give me an answer, and they'll have an answer for you too, I bet. I'm John Paulus. You're listening to Life's Potluck Buffet, only on YouTube. If you're enjoying Life's Potluck Buffet, please subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. And if you have a Brave browser, you can contribute basic attention tokens to Life's Potluck Buffet with John Paulus on YouTube. Thank you for your support, and thank you for listening. Okay, I woke up this morning to find a construction barrel or traffic drum, whatever you call this. Those of you living outside the United States, Canada, Mexico, and other parts of North America might not be familiar with these. I think they're most common in those places. But what they are big orange plastic barrels that have white stripes painted on them. Sometimes it's reflective paint or reflective tape around them in white. And they have a tire, basically recycled tire around the bottom that's formed into the shape of a ring that keeps it upright and also helps it bounce back and stay upright if it gets hit by a car or something. So they're called. Well, I didn't know what they were called until this morning. I guessed a barrel, but I asked neighbors what they called them, and I think barrel is about the best we could do. The technical term I learned just today, looking up these things online, maybe a drum, a traffic drum. Anyway, if you're outside of the United States, Canada, Mexico, and other parts of North America that use these, there's a picture of it on the thumbnail. It's not the actual one. It's an image of a traffic drum. And this particular traffic drum was placed very deliberately on my stoop. Now, in places around the United States where there have been settlers who spoke a language that we call Dutch in English, Nederlands is what the people in the Netherlands call it. People who speak that language have a word for the stuff in front of your house, kind of like the stairs or the sidewalk slab part, or it might be a raised kind of patio thing. And in modern Dutch, I understand the word for just sidewalk itself, but the word is stoep. It's spelled S-T-O-E-P in modern Dutch. In English, it's S-T-O-O-P, like it's said, because, well, if you spelled it S-T-O-E-P and asked people who speak English to pronounce that, I think they would say stoep, which would not be how you pronounce it, or stoip. And it's not steep. It's stoop. So very carefully placed on the stoop, which is enclosed. So it was very consciously and very deliberately placed there, was a large construction barrel. It's a very large barrel, and it was just lying there, and it was placed there. And I know it was placed there in the wee hours of the morning because I got in rather late last night. So I know that it happened after midnight and before around 7:30 a.m. So that was the time frame in which this was consciously placed there. Now, the barrel has a tag on it. Now, do you know a tag, for those of you who are familiar with graffiti writing and graffiti art and so forth? That a tag is a kind of like fast. For those of you who don't know, a tag is a kind of fast version, signature, if you will, of a graffiti writer. And the tag is a simple thing. It's just like you have say spray can, say for example spray paint, and you just do like imagine doing a signature, but in a little bit more graffiti style, I guess you'd call it. And there you have it. Well, you have a tag, and it's fast. And this construction barrel has been tagged, and it is tagged with the name of a vegetable. And for the sake of the anonymity of the tagger, I won't say what vegetable, but nonetheless, it is a vegetable. So that is also, I think, I from what I can tell, there may be an extra letter which would make it definitely not a vegetable, but a name of some sort. But I think it's a vegetable. Anyway, the tag is there. It's just in black spray paint, and that's it. Very appropriate for the orange barrel. Very well done, since it's in good proportion. The whole space was used. I appreciate using when you use the whole space like a canvas. You got to use the whole canvas. That's first rule of art, right? You got to use the whole canvas. That's my first rule of art. Maybe you have a different first rule of art. So the barrel is tagged. It also has tape, like caution tape on it, because it has a handle on top of it, and that handle was clearly used to cordon something off. Cordon, which is just a French word for like a ribbon, that like a cordon bleu. Oh, see? Blue ribbon. Ah. Well, anyway, something was cordoned off using a certain number of construction barrels. That tape around has been broken for a long time, and it is so clearly has not the case. And that got me thinking about the history of traffic barrels. And I found out that there is actually a person who patented the traffic cone. The traffic cone was a thing where someone came up with the idea and patented it in the 1940s. And it was Charles D. Scanlon of Los Angeles, California, who also assigned a third to a person named Roscoe J. Arnold, and a third to Rodney B. Taylor, who were also from Los Angeles, California. And given the fact that wherever you are in the world right now, you've probably seen a traffic cone, you would think that Scanlon and his patent partners would have really struck it rich, kind of, this is a gold mine, right? It didn't work out that way, because there were a lot of claims that the idea of a cone, and Scanlon created this rubberized, basically, cone that, layers of fabric covered in rubber to make a cone shape, and then to have a bottom that's rubber that allows it to like pop back up if it's hit by a car, and that's the whole point. And the idea here was that when you were fixing a roadway and you had a pothole or some other thing in the roadway, you would put these what they called like traffic horses, or they would basically be these wooden barricades that don't worry, no animals were harmed in this. A traffic horse is just a wooden barricade, and the whole point is that the wooden barricade would both destroy the car and also be destroyed when you ran into it, and so that wasn't really very handy. And the idea was to have something rubber that would bounce back up and that wouldn't damage the vehicle that ran into it, and also wouldn't cause any further damage. And this traffic cone was a great idea. Unfortunately, the people who wanted to make their own traffic cones argued that the patent couldn't be enforced on something that was similar, but ultimately just a rubber cone, which had existed at other points, and which may, not have been the same thing as the thing that was patented as the safety marker, which we now call a traffic cone. And so there were a lot of court cases, and as it turns out, the traffic cone spread around the world, being reproduced in all sorts of different ways. And doesn't seem like Scanlon and his partners in patent partners really lucked out that much in that worldwide spread of traffic cones. But I think it's time to ask the cards what message this barrel on the stoop was sending to me. And the cards will answer that. And also, this can be your card for today, too, as well. So we'll share in that. Okay, I'll share it with all of you. Here we go. Yellow lemons, blue dumplings, magenta noodles, cards, tell us somethings. It's just said orange traffic barrels. Better not be passions over hobbies. It's card 30. Use righteous anger to find your mission. It is hard to get righteously angry about something you do not care deeply about. This kind of anger is often a marker of something you need to do. Think about a situation where you were righteously indignant about something. What was going on? Consider the context, the location, the words and actions of others, and of yourself. Now, consider what in this is actually a mission that you are on and what you need to do about it. Okay, so the word, I don't know if you noticed, but the word marker was on this card. And these traffic cones and these traffic barrels are certainly things that are used to mark out areas that are being repaired. And so this is a kind of marker of something I need to do. Okay, well, I'm going to have to give that a thought. You think about what markers have appeared today in your life, and if you've had a orange traffic barrel show up on your front porch, or a stoop, if you're in a place where you call it a stoop, let me know, because we may have to talk. And I'll see you tomorrow on Life's Potluck Buffet.